Well, I've seen this gentleman next to me. I'm not sure, well, now twilight years now, well, certainly I am. But I've seen this man bring so many fighters over to England tirelessly, and all over Scotland as well. I'm a very privileged after Griphouse very own Guy Ramsay. Guy, how are you?
I'm gazing into your eyes and I'm almost convinced. Yeah, good man, just really looking forward to tonight. A Scottish level, British level and a European level fighter, which is kind of where the gym's at the moment. So for my team, very, very happy. For the sport in Scotland, very happy. Somebody had to grab the bull by the balls and run with it.
We'll bleep that out.
Bulls have balls.
They do.
Cows don't.
They do.
Vinny's basically done that. I was one of his, originally I was one of his critics, thinking, nah, this guy's a dictator, but then when you work in a committee, it just slows everything down.
Yeah.
You need a guy to go, I'm making a decision, here's the deal, do you want in, do you want out? Well, we want in.
Yeah.
He's given the guys a chance to make some decent money. It's the difference between one of my guys earned 120 quid for his last fight. B-class fight, but 120 quid. He could earn 10 times that in his next fight because of the way Vinny's working things. I don't quite grasp the business model. I was going to make it work. I hope it does work because it guarantees a really, really good future for the guys.
The thing is that I think sometimes we don't really have to understand it, do we?
No.
I mean, if they're getting paid, they're getting treated well, the safety aspect, there's good matches. I mean, each to their own. I mean, I commentate and interview people and do my job, and you do yours. So it's interesting to see what aspects they bring in. But you've been around. It sounds awful, this, but to be honest, a very long time.
Yeah.
Like myself, what have you seen change in Scotland, and what have you seen change in the sport itself?
Well, we learned Muay Thai. I think it's probably the biggest breakthrough, and that sounds nuts, but 10 years ago we were punching, we were kicking, we were elbowing, we were kneeing, but we weren't doing Muay Thai. I think the transfer of information, Thailand's become much more accessible. YouTube's is a learning aid, providing you know how to make your body work and your body move. If you understand the basics of your sport, you've got no reason for evolving at a really fast pace that was never there for us before. I've seen it, the generation of coaches in our place. I kind of thought I knew what I was doing, then I went to Thailand and realised I didn't have a clue. I was doing some kind of weird kickboxing. And now I see the next generation of coaches, I'm learning off them, which is a very privileged position for me to be in. But I think that's the big difference. We have learned how to do Muay Thai.
It is a young man's game, isn't it? Really, I mean, the sport-wise, it is a young man's game because I was talking to young Chrissy Shaw earlier, and they're so astute, aren't they? They're really students of the game.
Yeah, they know stuff.
I mean, you're from the same generation as me, aren't you? We didn't really know anything.
No, it was a fight.
Yeah, there was just like, there's a gum shield.
On your marks, get set,
How'd
go.
you lose weight? Don't eat
crisps.
pies. Don't eat pies. Chris, I was brought up on it, so it was very difficult for me. But it's nice to see that they're so like Liam Harrison and all the guys, and like Alex Snedden and Stevie Houston paved the way, didn't yourself, when you was fighting, and Brad Burt, who's now in Australia. Yeah. They paved the way. Now the youngsters coming through. Name a few from Scotland.
Moved.
We've already had Chrissy Shaw.
Okay, I think technically two of the best fighters that have come out of Scotland have got to be Tommy Young and Lynn Minden. We're going to see more of Lynn this year, without a doubt. Lynn fought down in London recently. He put on a phenomenal display. He's one of these guys, he's really hard to match, and he's only had 7 fights. And we can't get guys with 30 fights to take fights with him because the technical level he's at is just phenomenal. Definitely watching out for them. Younger guys as well, there's 15, 16 year olds that already know Muay Thai, which never happened before. I think as well you've got kids that have only done Muay Thai now. They've not bastardised it like we did with, I've done some Kempo or karate or boxing or judo
and you have to iron out bad habits then, don't you?
Yeah. Whereas you're seeing guys who've got a good base, they understand balance, they understand scoring. They've got clinch stuff that we just never had before.
The thing is that the one person that I know that hasn't been in the gym, and if he's watching this, I'd like a request, is Jordan Calder. Yeah. I mean, he for me was phenomenal, kid.
Yeah.
He really was. I know Brian's a student of the game. He has some great shows himself. Super Showdown, and he's doing a show next year, which is going to be awesome. Yeah. And I like Brian, but I would like to see that kid back in the gym. I really would.
The thing with Jordan, most fighters can be an okay fighter if they tick 7 or 8 out of the 10 boxes. You need to be a good fighter. Jordan was pretty much hitting the 10 out of 10.
Yep.
Much in the same way Joanne Calderwood ticks 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
And the thing that the box that a lot of fighters don't quite tick is eyes. He sees stuff coming. He just sees it coming. Almost when you're still thinking about throwing it.
I agree.
And I think his fight with Aaron McCallum is probably the best example of that.
Yeah.
Everything Aaron threw pretty much missed.
Yeah.
It was just one of those fights. He just sees. He's got eyes.
Yeah,
which is one
I
of the most
agree. I
important
mean,
things.
I seen him on MSA and he fought. His name escapes me, from Phoenix Gym, and he was outstanding. Really, if you're watching Jordan, don't waste it. And I mean that. How many times have you seen brilliant kids come into the gym and just waste it when they can't be arsed disease? You know.
Yeah, but I think you also have to give kids the space to develop their own personalities, their own kind of their peer groups. There was a lot of pressure on Jordan in the early years to keep him in the gym and stuff, which returned hugely in his performances. Yeah. And I think he just needed to take a bit of time out and be a teenager for a couple of years. Yeah, that's it. He's got time, he could easily get back into it and still be a world champion.
And Shelton, sorry.
Anthony Shelton.
I'm sorry, I wasn't being no disrespectful.
Yeah.
I'm not being disrespectful, I just his name's...
John's one of these guys who could definitely come back to the sport. I still think he's the first guy to come out of our gym that could have been a legit world champion.
Yeah, well, it's not over yet, as he's still a kid.
No,
if he's watching this, we'll force him to do it. But thanks for your time anyway, Guy. I really enjoyed
cool.
speaking
to
you.
Man.
We'll see you again very, very soon.
Yeah, see you around.
Thanks very much.
Cheers.
Cheers, man.
Cheers, man.
Thanks a lot.